Ode to a Beautiful Woman. I'm inspired by beauty and enthralled by her grace. I'm often struck speechless by her beautiful face. For in all the world, there cannot be found anything that compares to a beautiful woman. With delicate features and intricate ways, she's unique beyond measure, and I'm left in a haze. To stumble about, struck blind by the presence of this fantastic gift to mankind from God. I'm weak in the knees when she comes into sight. I'm swept away helplessly and in awe of her light. Camille, I am so proud of you.
Now, Phil and Camille, you shared with me that Greek life at LSU played a big part in finding the one at last that would fulfill your dreams for a soulmate. You both told me that you participated in a Greek life retreat that they call now an Empower Weekend for the up-and-coming Greek leaders of the LSU community. Well, one day in 2016, little young Camille needed a date to a formal, so she asked Phil. He was not like all the other Greek bros on the campus.
So I'm gonna get a little sentimental here for a minute. Camille is the best thing that ever happened to me in my entire life. We've always been very close. She's my only child.
Girl.
Obviously, love Phil. I'm not gonna dote on him, but I will say that he has the softest heart. He is, man, if you ever needed a friend, he's the guy. We love him, we love his soft heart. We know he's gonna be a good dad, and we're just super excited for your marriage nuptials that are gonna happen Saturday.
Phil and Camille, you are part of God's plan, who brought you together from that first date for a greater purpose. And God will surely give you the strength and grace to accomplish that purpose. So in the years to come, remember that moment when, like Adam, you thought, at last, this is the one for me.
One of the parts of the invitation that was most important to Camille and Phil was the liner of the envelopes. I don't know if you noticed them. It ended up being a blue map of New Orleans, which was Camille's favorite thing. She collects these maps of New Orleans. But before we picked that one out, we came across, Phil knows the story I'm going to tell, and he's already crying. God, you're killing me, Phil. Okay, before we came to that one, the owner of the shop, who was just amazing, we had an amazing afternoon with this, she pulled out this lovely sheet, and it was an Audubon print of some birds. And it was beautiful, but it was just some birds to me, and I thought, well, that's lovely. And all of a sudden, Phil stops and he says, that's the one. That's what we want to go with. And I said, okay, well, why that one, Phil? I mean, to me, it said, that's the wood duck. And the wood duck is the only duck that chooses his mate for life. Well, it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I'm weeping, and I turn around, I look at Phil, and he's weeping. I knew then, I've always known, y'all are meant to be, and I wish you all the love and joy and peace and happiness in the entire world. God bless you. Thank you. Every time I see you,
be willing to compromise. There's gonna be a lot of time wants to do something, you want to do something different, and if you can learn to make a mutual agreement, it will make y'all all the happier. Immediately off the bat, noticed a few things about Camille that stuck with me. The first was, and they've alluded to it a little bit earlier, she was smart, she was driven, she was outgoing, funny, and a little bit out of Phil's league.
Here I am.
You are beautiful. You are really, really beautiful. Wow. I love your dress.
And that's to do small things with great love. I think the best example that I have of you two doing that, we would go on vacation, and every morning Phil would make Camille coffee, and he would bring it to her to help her wake up. And as a coffee lover, I thought that was just like the really sweetest thing.
Camille, receive this ring
Camille, receive this ring
as a sign of my love and fidelity.
as a sign of my love and fidelity.
In the name of the Father,
In the name of the Father,
and of the Son,
and of the Son,
and of the Holy Spirit.
and of the Holy Spirit.
I just wanna feel you. Pull me closer. Take me in the moonlight. Take me to your room. I transcend when I'm with you. I would do anything. You complete me. I never knew the feeling until you.
Phil, receive this ring
Phil, receive this ring
as a sign of my love and fidelity.
as a sign of my love and fidelity.
In the name of the Father,
In the name of the Father,
and of the Son,
and of the Son,
and of the Holy Spirit.
and of the Holy Spirit.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. Philip Walter Messer III.
I'm going to introduce to you all tonight the new Mr. and Mrs. Phil Messer.
About 4 years ago, my husband Alex and I moved to Houston, and Phil and Camille were in town, and we got to have lunch together. What Camille probably remembers about that lunch was that I cried. I was so happy to see a friend. But what I remember is that it was one of the first times I knew without a doubt that Phil was the right one for Camille.
It's a wonderful thing, so we couldn't be more proud of you. So for that, I'll raise my glass and say thank you, and I wish the very best and most fulfillment of this marriage. So here's to you, Phil and Camille.
Every breath holds a moment. Everyone.
But my point of all these stories is Camille is a planner. She wants to know what's coming ahead of her, and she wants to plan ahead, do what she can to plan for it. But the one thing that she could never plan for, none of us could, was to find somebody as perfect for her as Phil. Every time I'm with y'all, I leave with the biggest smile on my face and always laughing because y'all just have the same sense of humor, everything else, and I'm just so excited to stand next to y'all on Saturday and for the many, many, many years to come. I love you.